Welcome back, future shapers, to Hidden Pages. Today, we're exploring a phenomenon that sits in billions of pockets around the globe, the iPhone. Before its arrival, the idea that a single device could be a phone, a music player, a full internet browser, and a powerful computer, all controlled by the touch of your finger, seemed like science fiction. But through daring vision, relentless innovation, and an unwavering focus on the user, Apple didn't just create a new gadget, it sparked a revolution that redefined technology and reshaped our daily lives. This very detailed and inspiring story about the iPhone is crafted to motivate you to think different. We'll journey back to a time when phones were clunky and limited. We'll witness the secret project that aimed to combine three revolutionary products into one. We'll relive the iconic moment of its unveiling and track its evolution into an indispensable tool that continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. Prepare to be incredibly inspired by a product that truly embodies the spirit of never settling and relentlessly pursuing perfection. Chapter 1: A World Waiting, the Clunky Era Before the iPhone's Dawn. To truly appreciate the iPhone, we first need to understand the world it arrived in. Picture this: the year is 2006, just before the iPhone's grand reveal. What did a mobile phone look like? Physical buttons everywhere. Most phones had dozens of small, hard-to-press buttons. Typing a message was a slow, clunky dance with a tiny keypad. Tiny, low-resolution screens were small, dark, and often non-color. Forget watching videos or browse rich websites. Limited internet. If you were lucky, your phone might have a primitive web browser that could access a very simplified version of the internet, often just text-based. It was slow, frustrating, and certainly not the web in your pocket. Separate devices for everything. If you wanted to listen to music on the go, you needed an iPod. If you wanted to take good photos, you needed a digital camera. For directions, a dedicated GPS device. Your pockets were full of gadgets. Clunky software, phone operating systems were basic and unintuitive. Apps, if they existed at all, were simple, often pre-installed, and rarely updated. Phones were primarily for making calls and sending text messages. They were functional, but far from elegant or powerful. There was a clear gap between what technology could do and what mobile phones were doing. The experience was often frustrating, disjointed, and certainly not magical. People just accepted it because they didn't know anything better was possible. But in the background, a very secret, ambitious project was underway at Apple, driven by a vision to solve all these frustrations and combine the best of technology into one seamless, intuitive device. The world was about to be turned upside down. Chapter 2: The Spark of a Revolution, Steve Jobs' Audacious Vision. The story of the iPhone truly begins with a visionary leader, Steve Jobs, and his unwavering belief in the power of simplicity, elegance, and an exceptional user experience. Apple, having already revolutionized personal computing with the Macintosh and digital music with the iPod, was looking for its next big leap. Jobs famously hated most mobile phones, finding them clunky and unintuitive. He knew there had to be a better way. His initial idea wasn't even a phone, it was a tablet computer. But during development, he and his team realized that the core technology they were building, especially a revolutionary multi-touch interface, could perfectly serve an even bigger purpose: reinventing the phone. Jobs decided to merge three groundbreaking products into one: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, a breakthrough internet communications device. This was the audacious vision for the iPhone. The project was incredibly secretive, codenamed Project Purple. Apple poured immense resources, talent, and time into its development. Engineers worked tirelessly, often on prototypes that looked nothing like the final product. Steve Jobs was famously demanding, pushing his teams to achieve perfection in every detail, from the feel of the glass screen to the speed of the software. He famously said, "Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works." Then came the moment that changed everything. On January 9, 2007, at the Macworld Conference in San Francisco, Steve Jobs walked onto the stage. The tension was palpable. He didn't just announce a new phone, he announced a device that he said would reinvent the phone. With his signature showmanship, he unveiled the iPhone. The audience gasped as he demonstrated features that seemed impossible on a phone at the time. Swiping and pinching to zoom on a high-resolution, full-color screen. A virtual keyboard that appeared only when needed. A true web browser, Safari, that displayed websites just like on a computer. Visual voicemail, allowing users to select messages like emails. Seamless switching between calls, music, and the internet. It was a captivating performance. Jobs introduced it as three revolutionary products in one, and the world watched, utterly stunned. He wasn't just showing a product, he was showing a glimpse of the future. The iPhone was not just an evolution, it was a radical departure, a bold statement that technology could be intuitive, beautiful, and profoundly powerful, all in a single device. The future of mobile computing had arrived. Chapter 3: Beyond Buttons, the Magic of Multi-Touch and Software Supremacy. The initial unveiling of the iPhone created a sensation, but its true genius lay in its core innovations, which fundamentally reshaped how we interact with technology. The most groundbreaking was the multi-touch interface. Before the iPhone, mobile devices often relied on a stylus, a small pen, or tiny physical buttons for navigation. It was clunky and imprecise. Steve Jobs famously scoffed at styluses, saying, "If you see a stylus, they blew it." Apple's breakthrough was recognizing that the most intuitive pointing device we have is our own finger. They developed a screen that could detect multiple touches at once, enabling gestures like pinch to zoom, spreading two fingers apart to zoom in on a map or photo, or pinching them together to zoom out. This felt incredibly natural and magical. Swiping, gliding your finger across the screen to scroll through lists, emails, or web pages. Tapping, simply touching an icon to open an app. This multi-touch technology wasn't just a gimmick, it was a fundamental shift. It made the iPhone incredibly intuitive and fun to use. It removed the barrier of cumbersome buttons and replaced it with a direct, personal connection between the user and the device. But the iPhone was not just brilliant hardware, it was a triumph of software. Apple built a robust, elegant, and user-friendly operating system, initially called iPhone OS, later iOS, that powered the entire experience. This software ran smoothly, looked beautiful, and was designed from the ground up for touch interaction. It transformed the phone from a basic communication tool into a powerful, miniature computer. Consider the impact of just a few of its software innovations. Full web browser, Safari. This wasn't a stripped-down mobile browser. Safari on the iPhone rendered full web pages, just like on a desktop computer. This meant the entire internet, with its vast wealth of information, was truly accessible from your pocket for the first time. Visual voicemail, a seemingly small feature, but revolutionary. Instead of listening to voicemails one by one in chronological order, the iPhone presented them as a list, allowing users to select and listen to specific messages instantly, just like emails. It was a simple yet profound convenience. These innovations, driven by an obsessive attention to detail in both hardware and software, were what made the iPhone truly revolutionary. It wasn't just one new feature, it was a holistic redesign of the mobile experience, proving that a device designed with a seamless user experience at its heart could transform an entire industry and empower billions of people to interact with technology in a fundamentally new way. It was a testament to thinking differently and prioritizing the human experience above all else. Chapter 4: From Skepticism to Sensation, the App Store's Game-Changing Evolution. Despite the initial awe, the first iPhone faced some skepticism. Critics pointed out its high price, its reliance on a single carrier, AT&T in the US, the lack of a physical keyboard, which many still preferred, and a significant limitation: it didn't allow third-party developers to create their own applications. Steve Jobs initially believed web-based apps would be enough. However, the power of user demand and the potential of a vast software ecosystem soon became undeniable. Apple listened, and in 2008, just a year after the iPhone's launch, they unveiled a feature that would become a true game-changer: the App Store. The App Store was a revolutionary concept. It was an online marketplace where developers could create and sell their own applications specifically designed for the iPhone's unique touch interface and powerful capabilities. This seemingly simple idea had an absolutely massive impact. Unleashed a wave of creativity. Suddenly, millions of developers worldwide had a platform to create almost anything imaginable. From games and productivity tools to social media and educational apps, the possibilities exploded overnight. Transformed the device. The iPhone was no longer just a set of pre-installed features. It became a highly customizable, incredibly powerful, and endlessly versatile personal computer in your pocket. Each app added a new function, a new dimension to the device. Created a new economy. The App Store fostered an entirely new global industry, generating billions of dollars for developers and creating countless jobs. It proved that software and services could drive hardware sales in an unprecedented way. Democratized innovation. Anyone with a good idea and coding skills could potentially create the next hit app, reaching millions of users directly. This leveled the playing field for innovation. The launch of the iPhone 3G later in 2008, combined with the App Store, ignited an explosion of mobile development. Applications quickly became indispensable. Want to find a ride? There's an app for that. Want to learn a new language? There's an app for that. Want to edit photos like a pro? There's an app for that. The iPhone, through the App Store, became the central hub for our digital lives, proving that a device's potential is multiplied exponentially when you open it up to a world of creativity. It transformed the iPhone from a smartphone into a truly intelligent device, capable of almost anything. Chapter 5: More than a device, the iPhone's unstoppable impact on culture, work, and life. Since its groundbreaking launch in 2007 and the revolutionary App Store in 2008, the iPhone has undergone continuous evolution. Each year, Apple has refined its design, boosted its performance, and introduced new features, constantly pushing the boundaries of mobile technology. This relentless pursuit of perfection and innovation has kept the iPhone at the forefront of the industry for over a decade. The iPhone's impact extends far beyond just technology. It has profoundly reshaped almost every aspect of modern life. The mobile photography revolution. The iPhone's increasingly advanced cameras have turned billions of people into everyday photographers and videographers. It revolutionized how we capture memories, share experiences, and even create professional content, effectively killing the point-and-shoot camera market. Redefining communication and social interaction. From messaging apps to social media platforms, the iPhone became the central device for how we communicate, connect with friends and family, and consume news and entertainment on the go. Transforming industries. Entire industries have been built around the iPhone and its app ecosystem. Think of ride-sharing, Uber, Lyft. Mobile banking, food delivery, streaming services, and mobile gaming. Many of these wouldn't exist or wouldn't be as prevalent without the iPhone's platform. Always-on connectivity. The iPhone made full, high-speed internet access a constant companion, changing how we work remotely, learn, shop, and manage our lives. The desktop computer no longer needs to be a desktop. Influence on design and user experience. The iPhone's minimalist design, premium materials, and intuitive touch interface became the gold standard. Other phone manufacturers quickly followed suit, adopting large touchscreens and sleek forms. It set a benchmark for user experience that remains influential today. A catalyst for innovation. The iPhone didn't just innovate itself, it spurred intense competition and innovation across the entire mobile technology sector, pushing every company to build better, faster, and more capable devices. What truly powerful lessons can we draw from the iPhone's remarkable journey? Think different, challenge the status quo, don't just make an incremental improvement, envision something entirely new, even if it seems impossible or contrary to current trends. The iPhone succeeded by daring to be radically different. Obsess over user experience. It's not about features for features' sake. It's about how a product makes people feel and how effortlessly they can use it. Simplicity, intuition, and elegance are paramount. Take bold risks. Apple effectively bet the company on the iPhone. True innovation often requires massive investment and the courage to pursue unproven concepts. Build an ecosystem, not just a product. The iPhone's success wasn't just the hardware, it was the seamless integration with iOS, the App Store, and Apple's services. A powerful ecosystem creates lasting value. Relentless iteration and improvement. The first iPhone was amazing, but it was just the beginning. Apple's continuous drive to refine, add features, and push performance ensures its longevity and leadership. Visionary leadership is crucial. Steve Jobs' unwavering belief, demanding standards, and ability to communicate his vision were instrumental in bringing the iPhone to life and ensuring its revolutionary impact. The iPhone is more than just a gadget, it's a testament to the power of a clear vision, uncompromising design, relentless innovation, and a fearless spirit that dares to reinvent the ordinary. Its story reminds us that with courage, creativity, and a focus on truly making things better for people, a single idea can indeed reshape the entire world, one tap, one swipe, one app at a time. In clear, simple terms, before the iPhone in 2007, phones had many buttons, small screens, and bad internet. You needed separate devices for music and photos. But Steve Jobs and Apple had a huge, secret idea. To make one magical device that was a phone, an iPod, and an internet browser, all controlled by your finger touch. When Steve Jobs showed the iPhone, people were amazed. It had no buttons, a big screen, and you could zoom in with your fingers. It was very easy to use. At first, some people doubted it. But then, in 2008, Apple made the App Store, where anyone could make apps for the iPhone. This changed everything. Suddenly, the iPhone could do almost anything: games, maps, social media. The iPhone constantly got better and changed how we take photos, talk to people, and use the internet. Its story teaches us to think differently, focus on making things easy and great for people, take big risks, and never stop trying to make things better. The iPhone truly changed the world.